Nikita Season 4, Episode 3, titled Setup. This episode, I hate when shows do this, but they do it all the time for suspense. They kind of teased it in a completely different way than the episode actually ended up being. But it was still a really good episode, and obviously, the main thing that they were teasing was that Birkoff was actually, like a double agent. He was one of the copies that Amanda put into place, and obviously that was between seasons. And they kind of made it seem that way through the whole episode. They had the scene where he says, I'm not Seymour Burkoff, and then he like points the gun at Fletcher. And then in this episode we find out it's not that he's a double agent, it's that the guy that they're actually looking for, who is the double, is actually Burkoff's dad. And Burkoff, his real name is Lionel, I want to say Pellman or Bellman or something like that. But he faked his own death to get away from his father. And, he was trying to keep his father alive because he knows how, they have to do things. And he knows if Nikita ends up killing the double, then Amanda will kill the original. So it was a cool episode. I still love the entire thing because we learned something about Seymour. We get some backstory out of him because we never do outside of like him as Shadow Walker, and that's really all we got. Like, I was like a teenager, or I was a young adult in my 20s, and I was like stealing money from this and that, and that's really all we ever got. We never learned anything else about him. But it was cool to have that. We got it in the final season, so that's good. We got some information out of him. We get to see his dad, who was apparently played by Judd Nelson. At least that's what my dad said. He said that was him. It looked nothing like him to me. You guys can let me know below if that was actually him or not. I'll probably look it up after. But it didn't look anything like him to me. But that's what my dad said. But it was a good episode. It was cool that his dad his dad was a hacker, and that's kind of how he ended up in that way, because that's all that really interested him, because his dad kind of sucked. And it was cool to see, like they kind of just, it helped them play on the fact that Birkoff might not be Birkoff, because no one could ever beat Shadow Walker. Like, through the whole series he's always been the best, and he'll do something that's nearly impossible. And when I saw this episode, it made me think of the one, I think it was 2 seasons ago, it might have been last season, where he was like in the coffee shop, and when he finally did it, he just yells like, yeah, it's Shadow Walker, and then the cops come in like 2 minutes later. But he's normally like that upbeat character, like really cocky about being able to do what he does because he is that good. And someone beat him, and it kind of made him seem like it was someone else, and we as viewers figured it's not just because he lost, it's because he's not even him, and he's like this other guy, and he's somehow like got triggered by the picture and stuff like that. But it was great how it played out. And one of the things I actually hate about it is how it ended, because I was really hoping that Nikita and the group would actually get one up on Amanda. And I loved the episode because the entire time they were just fooling Amanda like never before. And that's kind of what I loved about this season so far, is that like last season, or last episode I mean, Amanda was shocked that she obviously doesn't know that Nikita didn't really pull the trigger, but she thought that Nikita did. And it was like, kind of changing the game from the entire series, where Amanda always has the one up on everybody because she's like that psychological character. And now kind of in the end game of things, she's just getting screwed over left and right. She's like, they're going to give us all their information and stuff. And it was working until his dad said, like, why'd you do a Lionel? And then, of course, that screwed it up. But, the whole episode, I was loving it. Like, she's just, like, screwing up so much, and we never get to see that out of her. And it was cool just to have this mental game, for once, finally put everyone else on top of her, because, like I said, she's just that mental, psychological character who beats everybody else in the mental game. And in this season, she's just kind of been losing left and right, and she thinks, they're going to do this and that, and she's just being set up the whole time. And, she only really survived that because of a flat-out fluke. So, I kind of hate that it ended that way, but at the same time, it was still good leading up to that moment, because they did pull one over on her. And, after that happened, she did, like, when she was talking to the guy who kind of leads the shop, I guess, and he flat out said, like, you don't really have like this skills to beat Nikita, or he said wits or something like that, I think. And I was just like, ooh, that's like that has to sting for Amanda of all characters. So it was really cool to get that moment. And then of course we have Birkoff's dad, who is still alive. And initially, I didn't think he was actually like being held captive or anything like that. It seemed like he was completely willing. Like they didn't seem like they had to pressure him or anything like that. But at the same time, when you're held captive for who knows how long and you're replaced with a person who looks just like you, I don't think you. I guess you don't really need much, more pressure to actually do what they tell you to do, because they have body doubles of you. Who knows what they'll do? You could assume they'll kill you, but I can't wait to see how the rest of the season plays out. We have 3 more episodes. We'll just have to see where it goes. I mean, Amanda's now torturing, Burkoff's dad to figure out, how to kind of basically just stop him and defeat him. And when I was watching it, it was funny how she was like, the building blocks for Birkoff are like right here, aren't they? And she just like hit him in the head. It was kind of funny when she did that. But this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I kind of wish it ended with them flat out just beating Amanda in this aspect. I figured something would go wrong later on, but in this episode, I kind of wanted them to just completely just pull one over on her. But it kind of screwed up in the end due to Birkoff's dad kind of just saying something he shouldn't have said. But still a great episode. We get like I said, background on Birkoff. It was a good episode overall. And then of course we have the side story where Alex was basically captured the whole time, and it was cool to see Michael and Sam slash Owen, team up again. And Owen or Sam, I always forget which name he's using. It's Sam he's using. He definitely seems like he's going back to the sort of Owen side of things. He's at least sort of working with them because he thought, she'd have a ton of money, because that was obviously why he went back and did it. But he did help out, nonetheless. And we'll have to see how things work out with him, if he'll stay as Sam and join back on the team. But I hope he does, and I'm sure something else crazy is going to happen where he won't really have a choice, because he has this other group coming after him for millions of dollars. This guy like wants part of it paid off, and that's $20 million. So who knows how much he really owes, because I'm sure it's more than all the money he actually had. But I'm excited to see how that plays out, because I'm sure that guy is going to have just a ton of people flying in to kill off Sam, and then Alex and Michael and everyone will probably have to help him out too. So that should be just a cool, crazy action scene. But 3 more episodes. I'm excited for the season. And definitely comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. With 3 episodes to go, if you saw the preview, there's the shop's kind of trying to start World War III. What do you guys think is going to come next in these last 3 episodes? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.